Welcome to section 6 of the course on trees, or specifically more commonly known as decision trees. I'm really getting excited in this section because we are really starting to actually get into the really exciting part, because we have accumulated many understanding of many machine learning algorithms, and this is one of them before we actually start combining them to something much more powerful. But hey, let's just build on the decision tree for now. Now, decision tree is actually a classification. Of course, you can use it for regression as well. But in terms of what we're looking at here is that we're going to apply it to the iris. By now, you should be really familiar with it. I'm going to use it as a tool to actually help you understand the actual intuition and concept of iris flower datasets and how to apply decision tree to it. On top of that, we're going to use the graph viz to help you visualize. That's the beauty of decision tree, is that it actually lends itself really well to allow you to see how it actually part or the decision flow itself. So it's kind of like a flow diagram itself. We're going to talk or go in depth and talk about how the decision tree learn and the different algorithms that's used, such as ID3, C4.5, C5, and all the ways to Kayet. And also we'll talk about the basic concepts such as Gini, entropy, as well as information gain. I mentioned before that we're going to decision tree can also be applied to regression, albeit it's not very common. We're going to touch on that again a little bit later in Ensemble's module. You probably will remember that we talked about regularization much earlier on when we talk about regression in section 3, and that's really where this part comes in. The concept comes in really handy when you actually start looking at more complex models. It's always a bias and variance trade-off, and this is where the tuning part and how do you actually apply regularization when you actually do see some sort of overfitting. Of course, what's the fun of just looking at iris flower datasets alone? Of course, we're going to apply this to something that's a lot more exciting. This is the HR attrition prediction that we're going to apply this model, decision tree to, and just to see how well can we actually predict which staff is going to go or resign. And that's really where things start to get exciting. And this is where we're going to apply it. And for now, I think I've given you enough of a flavor to this, so let's get into the course itself. I can't wait to see you with the lesson 1.